When you're hiring selectors or drivers, you always try to find the right person for the job. But do you know the cost of making a bad hiring decision? According to the U.S. Department of Labor, a bad hire can cost more than 30% of the employee's first-year pay. Because making the right choice is so important, we used the best practices of divisions with high retention to develop the Driver and Selector Interviewing and Onboarding, or DSIO routine. This routine gives you a consistent, structured process for interviewing and onboarding drivers and selectors. DSIO provides a documented and repeatable way to train new drivers and selectors, and reduces unplanned turnover in the first year. It increases new employee productivity through organized training and feedback, and it provides you with the feedback you need to achieve better retention. DSIO requires human resources, supply chain management, and the new hires themselves to take responsibility for the hiring and onboarding process. Human Resources is responsible for recruiting, creating a slate of candidates, the Standard Interview Guide, or SIG process, Talio management, making an offer, and HR onboarding. Supply Chain Management is also responsible for the SIG process and making an offer, as well as supply chain onboarding and providing feedback. Lastly, new hires are responsible for actively participating in the onboarding and feedback process. HR and Supply Chain Management must interview every driver and selector candidate, and train all drivers and selectors over the first 90 days. Human Resources and the hiring manager welcome the candidate and introduce the company and culture. They also provide interview packets, discuss job duties and responsibilities, and review the interview process. During the interview process, the hiring manager gives the candidate a job review. This is done by showing a video, reviewing expectations, and introducing next steps. The hiring manager should take notes in the Standard Interview Guide while conducting the interview. The hiring manager also gives the candidate an opportunity to experience the job as part of the interview process. The candidate must sign a release waiver before the experience begins. For driver candidates, the hiring manager conducts a road test and arranges a meeting with the current driver so the candidate can ask questions about the job. For the selector job experience, the hiring manager will issue the candidate a freezer suit, toe guards, and a safety vest to tour the warehouse, and arranges a time for the candidate to shadow a current selector. Afterward, the hiring manager will close the interview, get feedback from the candidate, and review the next steps. Following the interview, the hiring manager and HR will schedule an in-person debrief with other decision-makers. After they meet, the debrief team should submit a legible, signed, and completed Standard Interview Guide to HR. The last step in the process is for the hiring manager to make a selection decision within 24 hours of the interview and complete the process with HR. You can find all of the materials required to implement the DSIO routine on the U.S. Foods SCLI Resource Library, including step-by-step implementation instructions and audit points. To successfully use this playbook, you need to complete all the steps in the DSIO routine. Interview every driver and selector candidate. Train all drivers and selectors over the first 90 days. Use the U.S. Foods Standard Interview Guides. Use the driver and selector DSIO materials. Follow the step-by-step implementation points, and make sure that your process complies with all audit points. Remember, hiring the right people will save time and money. Use DSIO to help you find and keep good employees. Good luck!